going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new disc golf video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to control your angles and what the angles are in disc golf. And this is going to be a very simple video for those of you who are new to the game, and going to be a really refreshing, informative video for those of you who have been playing for a long time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so in disc golf, discs are categorized by numbers. I'm sure you've heard of the numbers before. It is speed, glide, turn, and fade. Those are the numbers that are on every single disc. It's how you determine what the disc is going to do when you throw it. Now I'm left-handed, so all of the fade and the turn is going to be backwards because most of you are right-handed. So discs are categorized into overstable, understable, and just stable. And the way you view that is from the from the numbers on the disc. So let me go ahead and give you my most understable disc. And this is the Latitude 64 Ruby in the Opto Plastic Putt and Approach disc. Is the most understable disc in my bag with a turn of -3. So anything in the negatives is going to be understable, anything in the positive is going to be overstable, and of course 0 would just be stable. And understable discs have a lot of uses, and I like to use the Ruby for something called a hyzer flip. And if you're not familiar with the angles, basically you have hyzer, which is when you have the disc, you would lean it this way, and then stable obviously would be flat, and then anhyzer would be leaning towards yourself, hyzer away, anhyzer towards. And basically the way you release the disc is the way it's going to follow. This Ruby holds anhyzer super well, and then when I throw it flat, it just goes pretty straight but fades. And then since it's understable, I can hyzer flip this disc. And basically what that is, if I release the disc on a hyzer and I throw it with a good amount of power, it's gonna flip up and glide straight. Or if I really do what's called a turnover shot, I will hyzer flip it up and then it'll turn over and go. For you righties, what would naturally fade for a hyzer shot, for me, a turnover shot. So that is what I use my most understable disc for. Now I don't believe I have, I'm not sure if I have an extremely overstable disc in my bag, just because I don't really tend to bag them. But the thing about overstable discs is this. An overstable disc is gonna turn super hard. So for example, I have a Ricky Wysocki Star Destroyer. I love this disc from Innova. Basically, if I throw this disc like we're playing Frisbee and I just throw it like this, it's gonna crash super hard to the right. For you righties, it's gonna crash super hard to the left. It's just how the disc is made. And that is an overstable action, is when the disc will go and just fade super hard in one way. If you've watched my videos, these 3 discs tend to be very stable. I have the Wraith distance driver, the Musket, and the Destroyer. When I first got the Musket, it was extremely stable, and it was tended to be more overstable because it would hold any line I put it on, and when I put it on anhyzer, it would flex, and it would do all sorts of things, so it was overstable. Now, this has turn of -0.5, so this is slightly understable, but when you have to keep in mind, when you get a disc new, it's going to tend to be more stable than a disc that is beat in. So the Musket has gotten less stable the more I've thrown it. The Destroyer is still extremely stable because I just got it like 2 weeks ago. And then the Wraith is about in the middle. I haven't tried it on hyzer in a while, so I'm gonna have to see how it reacts. But overstable is just a disc that you can put on any line and it's pretty much gonna hold. Spike hyzers are with overstable discs, flat shots, overstable discs, things like that. You're going to want to use an overstable disc, and everyone should have an overstable disc in their bag. Obviously, by the numbers, I don't, but trust me, this acts like mine right now because it's just so new. I haven't even thrown it hardly a lot, maybe 20 throws with it. So you have to keep that in mind. Now I'm going to talk about the different uses that these stabilities can provide for you guys on the course. Now obviously understable, one of those is hyzer flips and turnovers, which I already discussed, and the other is holding that anhyzer line. So back to the Ruby, if I throw this on an anhyzer, it's just going to hold it the entire way. Instead, an overstable disc, if you throw it on an anhyzer, if it's pretty overstable, it's going to go like this, and it's going to flip up and fade back. That's just what they tend to do, and that's what I'm having to throw with destroyers right now. But in my latest video, the technical disc golf at the Sinks, episode 16, link in the description. Super great video. Go ahead and check that one out. This one I was able to throw more flat, and it would just glide fairly straight and fade. So I'm going to try to hyzer flip a couple of these discs in the future here after this video. Obviously it's super rainy where I am, so there's no way I can go outside, and I have school during the week, so it's pretty complicated there. But overall, that is pretty much what you're going to want to use these discs for. You have stability reasons of overstable, holds those super good hyzers, and even understable holds hyzers really well. What you have to be careful of is having an extremely understable disc. If you put it on hyzer, it's going to flip up to flat and go. If you saw in my video, I did a EMAC Truth forehand shot from a scramble, and I also did it with the Ruby, and the Ruby just flipped up and flat and glided straight in the woods. So you have to be careful of that. But those are the three stabilities of the disc. I discussed the angles. That is basically what you guys need to know when you're talking about angles. If you like this video, make sure to show it some love in the comment section by letting me know. If you guys like these tip videos, more educational disc golf content, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also leave a like on this video because it helps recommend this to other people, because there are so many people out there who have no idea what this is and they need to know so that they can improve their disc golf game. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I really appreciate it, and make sure to subscribe. That is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.